So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our viewers from where you are catching us from. Very excited about this particular episode, and we are thankful that you have been following us for the couple of episodes that we have aired. So now, with me, I have two distinguished gentlemen that I am very excited about you guys meeting. So karibuni to our podcast, Beyond Numbers, a podcast by KKCO East Africa LLP. I will be your host, Liz Nderito. So now, with me, I have two gentlemen that I'd want to introduce themselves, and I'll start with the gentleman to my right.
Mm-hmm. My name is FCPA Kimani.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and I've been the CEO, the lead partner of KKCO East Africa LLP.
Karibu sana.
My name is FCPA Joshua Yator Kerretts. I've been a senior partner, KKCO East Africa.
Karibu sana. So, FCPA is the highest honor that can be given to an accountant in our country, right?
Mm.
Awesome. So today we want to have a conversation as the founding partners of our firm. We'd want to get to know you. We'd want to know your story. We'd want to know some of the, leading motivations to, you founding the firm, how that was like. So that's why you're here. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Now, I'll start with, I want to know what you're doing right now, like what you have been up to. And let's start with FCPA, Joshua. So tell us, what have you been up to after retirement?
After retirement,
Uh-huh.
I just busy reading. I'm a Christian.
Uh-huh.
We are all Christians.
Okay.
I'm reading my Bible, writing some verses, sending messages to brethren,
Uh-huh.
giving an encouragement to them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. You enjoy it?
Yeah, indeed I do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I started about 6:30
Oh, you...
to read the Bible,
Uh-huh.
prepare myself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then I can take a walk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and come back and have a breakfast.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
You are an early riser.
Yeah.
6:30 is quite the time. What about you?
I'm leading a very relaxed life now.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. So, and it's not a crime.
Uh-huh.
So I'm enjoying my retirement.
Uh-huh.
But a day starts with my devotion.
Okay.
I have breakfast.
Uh-huh.
I also do jogging. I walk
okay.
around,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes I have meetings.
All right.
Meetings where I serve as board member or trustee.
Okay.
That I do, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite so you're all both leading very relaxed lives right now.
Yes.
It's a bit slowed down than I'd imagine it was.
Mm.
So I don't know your story. Let's start with you schooling, like your story. Which school did you go to? Yeah, maybe you could start off. You could start us off.
Yes. Of course, I come from Nakuru County.
Okay.
So I studied during the colonial days.
Okay.
At a place called Solai, Subukia, those areas.
Uh-huh.
But for my high school, I went to Menengai High School just after independence.
Oh.
Before then, it was government Asian school. And during that time, it was changed to, after independence, it was changed to Menengai High School. Mainly we were Asians, but in 1966, they left. So that's how I did my studies up to Form 4. And graciously, I got a first division, Cambridge. Again, the exams were Cambridge School Certificate.
Okay.
The first division. And then I was called to Strathmore to do accountancy.
Okay.
Yes.
So were your parents literate? Or how did you end up going to school at that time, especially at a time where most people were not privileged to have an education?
Yeah, it was a journey. It was a journey because schools were not many. And you do a national exam at standard, class 4, standard 4, you do common entrance, a national exam, which eliminates many people. At class 8, again, you do your CAPE. Again, that would push up. So I would say first is by God's grace and plan. Then again, I had elder brothers who had gone to school.
Okay.
So there was a bit of effort. And of course, God is able to kind of, you can do the effort, but it's really God who puts the destiny. So we went through difficult areas, especially during those colonial days. But finally, I was able to get through and come to a place now. I could say I was no longer in the village.
Okay. What about you, FCPA Joshua? What about you?
Interesting indeed. My parents did not want me to go to school.
Oh.
My father did not want that I should go to school. He wanted me to just be a traditional child of his. But I became a Christian when I was a very young boy.
Okay.
And being a Christian, and I was initiated when I was a little boy also. I got authority that I can refuse what he wants me to do. And I refused. When I refused to follow his traditional things, he actually decided he stopped paying my school fees.
Oh.
Now he could not pay my school fees. And then I had this is of mine. I did not want to be removed.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, my sister persuaded me that you'll be given a goat if I removed it. So I removed it. I was given a goat. When my father refused then to pay my school fees, I told them to sell the goat. My mama sold the goat, paid the school fees. When my father saw that the school fees has been paid, one day he took a spear to spear me, but he missed me. But I didn't run away from his house. I went to school. God granted me favor. I was the best student all throughout. And I got I took KCP. What's it called? What?
Yeah,
KPE.
Yeah,
KPE. I got a very good grade, and I went to Capman African School, a boarding school, to start Standard 5. And I went there. I did very well. And then when it was converted into secondary school, I joined secondary school there, and I was a Christian Union secretary.
Okay.
And I enjoyed being a Christian and doing everything well. Then did my KCSE, and then I was called to Kakamega High School to do Form 5 and Form 6. And I stayed there for 1 year. I got sick. I got malaria, and I couldn't manage.
Okay.
I decided not to do it, not to continue. Then I was. People knew me when I came back. At the education officer, Baringo knew me. He gave me to be an untrained teacher. I did it only for about 2-3 weeks. Somebody came and brought me to Nairobi.
Okay.
A member of parliament of Baringo North, called Honorable Enrique Boiwo, brought me to Nairobi and put me in the Ministry of Local Government. I worked as a clerk, and under somebody called Douglas, and then another called Mastu.
Okay.
These were Wasungus. Worked with them, and I was the time I want to go to university, start to read, and this talk class, it was a finance officer, come and tell me, don't do that, do accounting. They introduced me accounting, so I liked the accounting also. Then I prepared for accounting. I did what's called Royal Society of Arts, and I did diploma in accountancy in East Africa.
Okay.
I got that. I got it also what is called the government accounts.
Government accounts. Okay.
1 and 2. Then I got promoted to be finance officer 2. And then given a job to do to run what's called Provident Fund for local authorities.
Okay.
For local authority Provident Fund, I just come under my authority. I have to do every work there, write the books of accounts, prepare the accounts, and eventually this KCC, SEC, FCPA. In the process, Kenya introduced the CPA. So I combined for that. I said, whichever comes past, I have to stop the other one. So I passed my CPA soon. I stopped the SECA. And from there, I was made a finance officer.
Okay.
But then I decided I wanted to be an auditor. So I wanted to move away from government to private sector. And I got a friend of mine introduced me to a firm of Europeans called the ESCO Kenya Limited. And I was made to be their accountant.
All right.
And then I became their chief accountant, company secretary. And I worked there for 10 years. After 10 years, I decided I want to go into practice. Say now, who should be the partner? God arranged it wonderful. I'm a Christian. We are Christians. God arranged it wonderfully. We are met with Isaiah in a fellowship.
Oh, now that's when how you...
Yeah, we met with Isaiah in a fellowship in Praganast. We did some things together. I think we were in a committee of finance. And then, so when it was fun to start this accounting, I asked a friend of mine, who should be my partner? Who should we go into this business? He said, Mr. Kimani. My spirit agreed quickly. I read Mr. Kimani. Kimani says he's ready for it. So we met at the guest house, agreed the name, with name going to Kimani, Kerretts and Kimani. Kimani himself was very busy. Was sitting out today, and he had gone to, where you went, Malawi or Zimbabwe?
Malawi.
You went to Malawi. So I started a company. And the company where I've worked before, very good work, friendly with people is very, very important. When I told them I was going to retire in the first place, I was going to leave the company. When my director was Samsunga, that time my husband has passed on. She cried. I said, I cannot go when you are crying. So I said, I'll stay. I stayed another 8 months.
Wow.
As 8 months, his son, who is our accountant, also has come from England. And another son has come, 2 sons. He had 2 sons. They had a board meeting. I wrote a note to that son. I said, I'm leaving. I will be leaving now.
Yeah.
He said, subject to negotiation. I said, no, we can work together. So I gave them another 6 months notice. When after that finished, they said they rented their office and made us to be their consultants.
Okay.
And that's wonderful. And I said I came with companies which you knew, produced the other companies. So we worked together and we enjoyed good business. And God gave us a favor. And we started a fellowship. But our issue is we want to do things a different way. We want to do in a Christian manner that there is not be bribery, there not be deception. We want to do a good job. I said, introduce them. What was it called? You introduced the qualities what?
A fit for use for pastime.
Yeah,
was
good for use. Yeah,
in our organization was fit for use pastime.
It's the quality.
Fit for use first time.
Yeah, that was our mantra in terms of developing our staff.
I introduced that.
May I ask how old you were at that time?
When we started, first get the years.
Okay.
1985.
It started in 1985.
1985.
Yes.
All right. May
1985.
Second.
Yes. Yeah.
2nd May 1985.
Yes.
Awesome.
So I was about 35. Something about that age.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. And was it at that time, like Mr. Kerretts has said, you already are not in the country?
She came back. You had gone to do some work.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was just some work.
Yes, I was working with a medium-sized firm.
Okay.
Called Graham Carl, and they seconded me to Malawi.
Okay.
As an expatriate. So by the time just before we started, I was working in Blantyre. But then we had prepared ourselves. So 1st May or 2nd May, Joshua opened the office. He was the only office. A week later, I joined him.
Oh, wow. And there's something that FCPA, Joshua, you said that it was important for you to begin a farm where there was no bribery. Let me ask, at that time in the country, so you want to tell me like there was a lot of also like bribery, corruption as it is right now? Or why was that particular issue very prevalent?
Sometimes when you want to get a job, you might have to give people a kickback.
Okay.
We never did that. Even the companies that we did their work, we never asked them to renew our contract. We didn't go and negotiate. We just say our work, quality work, they will renew our contract.
Yeah.
And they did that.
Okay.
We worked in a friendly manner with an understanding. If their work was not good, if they did not satisfy, we will repeat the work without charge to make sure that we are willing to do a good job. Yeah.
Let me just add something. That in our farm, we had some values.
Okay.
And that one of them was, just to love God and serve Him. And under that kind of value, the issue of bribes and the issue of, we were guided by our Christian principles.
Okay.
It was very, very important that right from the beginning, we have set the boundaries.
Yeah.
And the question we're asking, yes, I mean, bribery started with the human beings. So, so even that,
Yeah.
of course, now it has
It's worse.
but even at that time, yes, people would bribe to get jobs. But as he says, ours was very clear, and I can tell you there are jobs that we missed.
Yeah. May I ask, FCPA Joshua, like, what was the motivating factor to begin your own farm? Because I'm imagining you still had a job and you were at a place that really wanted you to work for them.
It's a really motivating factor is to do good business as Christians without any compromise.
Okay.
To show the world that you can walk actually with God's help and you'll succeed without doing things in a manner that does not honor God. That's why we had our what is called the objectives.
Yeah.
The objectives and our mission and vision. What is that? What could remind me the vision and mission?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, which were clear in terms of, you know, we had values, mission, vision, all set out, and that would be our guiding factors.
Those are our guiding factors. Yeah. So to do things, and we do something with our brother. Mr. Kimani is a brother, and I'm a brother. So we, as brethren, as God people, we will manifest a life that honors God and honors the people we work with.
Yeah.
And honor our staff also. Our staff also must be honored people. We say staff are very important.
Yes.
There are people who actually create business for you as the staff.
Yeah.
So that they have also a right attitude to our clients. And we have right attitude to our clients. So we work together in a manner that is very harmonizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So friendship was important.
Yeah, very important. Once a week with Mr. Kimani, we had to relax up. We have lunch.
Okay, so you always have lunch.
Have lunch once a week. And sometimes we also include our families. My wife and his wife would have dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. To really create friendship and understanding. Yeah.
So it was important for you to have friendship. I remember the last conversation we had with you, you said friendship is important in business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it also resonated with you.
Yes. The question is the reason why or what motivated us to join together and start Kimani Kerretts and company. Let me give you a bit of my background in the sense that I joined Price Waterhouse, but then they were Coopers, in 1969.
Okay.
To study now the FCPA. So I had 4 years in an auditing firm, international auditing firm.
Oh, yeah.
So I was equipped. And then I went to the industry for another 9 years.
Okay.
And joined a medium-sized firm.
Yes.
So as far as I'm concerned, I had already kind of developed materials.
Yeah.
My mind was very clear that we can set up an African firm and do good business.
Yes.
There were very few auditing firms that were really managed by Africans.
Yes.
So the motivation was, yes, we can do our own things where we introduce our values as Christians and develop people and also develop business. I think that was the key motivation, just to kind of stand out and set up something that will be a testimony that as Christians, yes, we can do business.
So you have started the farm.
Yes.
There's an element of friendship, ensuring that you have very quality work.
Yes.
There's an element of ensuring that you have the right staff and they're taken care of. Now, let me know, what are some of the challenges that you faced at that particular time in just inception when you're starting the farm? What are some of the challenges that you'd face?
Yes. But like any new business, the first challenge was to have our clients, our clients, to develop, our clients base.
Okay.
And that took a bit of time because in the service marketing, unlike perhaps when you are selling something else.
Yes.
It's really the introduction, people who know you, they know the kind of work you can do. So that's what really we were able to leverage on.
Okay.
That his contacts, my contacts, and that we were able to kind of build up the clients. So initially we were not even on pay because
okay.
It's really the whatever we have, we say, okay, let's meet the basics. But the Lord was able to provide. We were able to move from that level, growing from strength to strength. And finally, we were able to have quite a wide client base in the NGO, in the corporates, and even accounting services and advisory. So the challenges were there. And again, the number 2 challenge would be even develop the workforce. People who will really take our values and work with us. Again, that was an issue because we wanted people who can really buy in our values and develop the farm. Other than that, again, as I said, the Lord prospered us. This is what I would say. Yeah, it didn't take long before we could meet our obligations and commitments and pay school fees and other areas.
Okay. Now, I'd want to know, 40 years later,
yes,
is there something you're worried about right now that you feel most businesses or even the way the farm may be running right now, because of how things have changed in the country, do you feel there's some things that have really changed that you're a bit worried about?
Let me put it this way, that because by next year, the farm will be 40 years.
Yes.
Over that period, we have developed people. We have developed people with the skills, people who have bought our values and our culture. So as far as KKCO East Africa is concerned, by the way, that is the name we changed to brand it, just to take a kind of a broader, rather than Kimani Kerretts, a broader name.
Yeah.
We have developed, the farm has developed very competent, very able partners, directors and managers. So for the farm, we are quite comfortable that now they are able to take it to higher levels. We have also a wide range of clients, and we have broadened. We have some kind of international connections. We are members of DFK International.
Yeah.
So for the farm, I'm quite happy with that. Now, again, like any other business, talking generally, but I think businesses are facing very, very difficult times in the sense that technology is changing very fast. So I believe with the new, partners are able to adjust very quickly. We are now talking of AI, artificial intelligence, things that we could not think of.
Yes.
So I believe, the partners we have are competent and able to move to the next level. The other challenge actually is that what I said, people, because again, you can't do a business without the workforce, the people.
Yes.
And I believe that we have set the structure where we can develop people who can come in and be able to provide the kind of quality services that we have in mind. I would say the challenges we had are now slightly different. Slightly different, yes, yes.
What about your FCPA, Joshua?
Well, we have actually lovely people. They have also taken our values. They have also they are godly men and women.
Yes.
Who really want to make sure that they do things in a godly manner and a successful way, that they show a brand that's so new in the society.
Yes.
That it is they are Christians. Actually, the farm cannot be a Christian, but they are Christians who runs the farm.
Yes.
And they run with quality of honesty, truthfulness, and sincerity in whatever they do. And they produce a good job. They are qualified people, and they really know what they are doing.
Yes.
So we are very happy that they are going to be successful. They are also very ambitious. They say they want to reach Africa.
Yes.
The destination is to actually reach Africa, to be able to work with other people in their society.
Yes. And I know you're also among the founders of KCA, right?
Yes. Joshua was a board member.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with a board
Me, I was on ISPAC, the institute.
Oh, okay.
So KCA.
Please tell us a little bit about that.
I was board member of KCA. First of all, it was Kenya College of Accountancy. That's what it's named. And we had a big problem. The problem was that we had borrowed money from Kenya Commercial Bank, guaranteed by Institute of Certified Public Accountants, and we were not be able to repay. We were the one who repaid that they guaranteed themselves, and we were not able to create enough money to pay the loan. Pay the loan.
Yes.
And the institute said they really want to cancel it. They said you want now to dissolve the KCA.
Okay.
Because we cannot manage. What we decided to do was to want to hire a person who is very qualified, was very ambitious. And then we went to the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation to say who we are, to really make the world to know what we are doing, what is our objective at KCA.
Yes.
And we did that. All directors went there. And we also hired, we hired a very good, very qualified person who really have an ambition. And he created another system within the college that we had enough staff. And within 8 months, we had paid the loan.
Oh, okay.
And we had 800,000 balance in the bank.
Oh, okay.
And we moved that way. And we had very wonderful directors. One was Mujigeo. You remember Mujigeo? Joe Mujigeo was very good. He was the chairman, I was the deputy. When we really ran that business, we decided we want to convert KCA into the university. And we worked out, we made a plan how that should work. And actually, by the time I'm leaving, after 10 years, we developed in our KCA University. And that is what we did. We trained the accountants and produce quality people, and then create KCA University.
Okay. When you say qualified people, training people, what would you say makes a good accountant? Maybe you could just give me one skill that even to the younger viewers who are listening to us, one skill as an accountant you feel is very key. We could start with you, FCP.
Yes. There is the technical side.
Okay.
In other words, besides anything else, you must be qualified academically, say a BCom or other relevant. Then there must be the professional side. Either you are a member of ISPAC or ACCA. Now, that's the technical side. But the biggest in the service marketing, the biggest skill that I would look for is someone who is willing to learn and grow. Someone who is willing to learn and grow. Because that way, especially in our kind of work where we are dealing with different types of clients, they need someone who has that motivation to learn and be able to advance. That's very, very key besides the technical qualifications. Very, very key. Willingness to learn. And in our firm, we used to say that leaders are lifelong learners.
Leaders are lifelong learners. That is nice. I like that.
You motivate the staff. Yes, you are here. But let's remember, if you are a leader, you are to be a learner throughout your life. And actually, we practice it. And the Institute encourages that because we have to go through CPD, professional development courses, so that the skills, the qualification we had those 40 years will not fit a scenario that we have today. So there are all these professional development courses developed by ISPAC, and per year you must earn a minimum of a number of units, actually 40. 40 units, study hours, yes.
All right. Now, what about you, FCP Joshua? What do you think is one skill that is really important for an accountant?
It's very important, the a person who must be ambitious to be an accountant. He wants to really do a good job. He must aspire to have a qualification that Mr. Kimani has described it.
Yes.
He must right attitude and work with people and learn. Yeah, he must be willing to learn and not to keep up. So even if you didn't pass your exam on the first time, you must be able that you're able to pass.
Yeah.
You must have an right attitude.
That is, I think, anyway, that is something that is very, very key. And not just to accountants, I'm thinking. That ambition, not giving up, willing to be a lifelong learner makes, I think, all the difference. I have a question just that I'd want to know. Do you remember the first thing you ever bought with your own money?
The first thing that I bought with my own
money.
Yes, it was dramatic. It was dramatic.
Yeah.
Very, very dramatic. When we reported at PricewaterhouseCoopers, we went without a tie those days.
Okay.
Then we were told you can't work here without a tie. So I had to go to the street, buy a tie, and get back to the office. I think that was that's something I can remember.
Yeah. Definitely. I think that is should go to the record. What about you?
That's very interesting thing. Because when I was starting schooling, my parents did not have enough money to support me. I had to, when school closes, I had to go and work in Shamba, Musungu Shamba. And then from there, I buy clothes. I buy myself a trouser and shirt with my own money. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think it's great that there are all these things, the dynamics keep changing, and the fact that you can even remember what you bought with your first amount of money, that is awesome. So anyway, I'm really curious to know, was it difficult for you just transitioning from now leaving the farm into now your own personal lives? Is it normally difficult? I'd want to know. That transition.
Yes, from employment to running our own business.
Yeah, we could start with that.
Yes. It was not difficult. As I said, we were quite prepared in the sense that it was clear in my mind, and even when we met with Joshua, that finally we will not stay in employment. We'll start a farm. We'll run our own farm within our standards and be a testimony. So over the period, right from those days when I was with the international farm, I had developed materials. I would imagine that one day I'll be running an office.
You are prepared.
I had developed audit programs, the checklists, whatever is needed, in a way that I'll just take that and use it for the new farm. And again, by the time we were starting, Josh and myself, we were at a higher level. I was a senior manager, audit manager, and he was also a director in that company and company secretary. So moving now from that level and rendering the service to our client was not that complicated. I don't think that we are generally, I'm a people person. Because in business you really have to market, and so it was not difficult. It was not hard for us to transit from employment to self-employment.
What about now, like transitioning to you run your business and now it's time to leave it to the next set of leaders? That transition. We could start with the FCP, Joshua. Was that difficult for you?
No, it was not difficult because I prepared really that I had to leave the farm. And the only thing which was interested is there are correct people who run the farm and to maintain the quality. And we have already got those people. So leaving to go and start a new style of living without employment was... to me, it was very nice. I exactly wanted that. I had want long to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had long to do that. And I knew that I would not have any problem because I am still have a lot of friends. We have a lot of friends. I can talk to them. Can read my Bible. Can send messages.
Yes.
I get involved in many things. I was also still a director of one of the companies, but I even opted to resign myself. I said I don't want to continue to be a directorship. I just say I want to come out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to relax and enjoy a different scenario of life.
Yeah. I like that. And I'd want to know, in your course of doing business and even working with very different businesses, what are some of the common mistakes that you've noticed or you'd notice that people would keep making over and over again? Maybe FCPA, Kimani, you can start.
Yes. Let me just mention that issue of retirement.
Okay, yes, please.
Just briefly, yes.
Sure thing.
It was not abrupt. It was part of our strategic planning. It was clear this year, Mr. Kerretts will retire. And then December 2023, I would also retire. So it was all programmed. And we made sure that we have a smooth way of funding. Usually some of these farms become a fight and things like that.
Yes.
But for us, it was very clear that even when we retire, these are the arrangements and the structures. And for your information, what we did was, besides the partners, we formed a partnership board, just like the corporate boards.
Okay.
So even now in our retirement, I chair the board. I come for the meetings. Of course, I don't participate in day-to-day, but we come for the meetings as the board, and we will have that accountability, and please add value to the leadership. That's the way that's the way we have done it. Unlike many farms where it becomes very chaotic.
Yes.
Ours was well planned. It was clear. And of course, there comes a time when you feel you have done your best.
Yes.
Yeah, I have worked for about 54 years. When you feel now it's time to hand over to others to take the baton and run ahead. Yes.
In fact, when I was asking, it's because I know, and we've seen that, whether it's in the media, we've heard of stories where that transition is always very, very chaotic.
Yeah.
And also when one set of leadership leaves, the business is not able to thrive.
Yes.
But I'm just, from our conversation, I'm learning that it's good, that element of preparation, having structures in place, ensuring that the team that you have buys into your values, so that transition becomes seamless.
Yes.
So at least, I can tell you, I think that is the same thing that is still happening at KKCO.
Yes.
Even just that bit. Please say something.
Friendship is very, very important. In wherever you work, and even people you do the work as auditors, we must be afraid. Even when we leave their work, they want to change the auditors. We still feel friendly. We remain friendly with them. We don't feel offended if people want to change from us.
Yes.
We are not offended on that. We say they're entitled to do what they want to do.
Yes.
But we remain friendship. So that a right attitude always in life, a friendship, and God, because we know God.
Yes.
We are so confident even that there could not be any danger for us. We're very confident.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
That is such wisdom. I'd want to know from each of you, what is one accomplishment that you're most proud of? We could start with you, FCP. Kimani.
Yes. I believe in developing people. Developing people.
Yes.
And all along, I was very keen throughout those years, making sure that I develop people. In fact, we introduced, again, another mantra, another word that was care fronting. Care fronting. Instead of confronting, care.
All right.
Helping others to be the best.
Oh, okay.
And over the years, I'm very proud that in terms of quality, in terms of technical, I developed people who are now very far, And there are times when I hear, people who are directors now. There are even others who have set up their farms, auditing farm, and there were staff. And when I hear the appreciation of the kind of training they got, I'm very, very contented. I'm very, very contented. So that's something that I would be very proud of, that really during that time, I developed others through that mantra of care fronting.
Yes.
And these people are now we have one of our ex-employees in the U.S. He is now a professor, I think vice chancellor in a university in the U.S. And we still communicate.
Yes.
So when I hear these stories, I feel very, very contented. Or I go to a place, there's a financial director and he's our ex-staff. I feel very, very elevated that, he went through our hands and we were able to develop him.
Yes.
And now he's ready to develop others.
What about you, FCP Joshua?
Oh, very interesting. My key thing in life is Christianity, to see people remain godly in whatever business they are, wherever they leave us, they live always in a godly manner and develop more and more to know God and encourage others and build others in that manner. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. And now the next question I think I'd want to know, at this point you are in your life, if you had a choice, this is a very random question. If you had a choice, would you want to rewind time or pause? Pause it. If you had the choice there was a button to life. Imagine there is a button to life and you have two choices. Yeah. The choice is press pause or rewind. What would you choose?
Let me get it correctly. Rewind means going...
Yeah, going back. Maybe to a specific time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what word do you use for going forward?
Fast forward.
Rewinding forward.
Yeah. You'd choose that, huh?
I would choose that.
Oh, really?
Not pause. Because you see, so long as we are on this earth, God has a purpose for us.
Yes.
So really, there is no time that I would say I have finished and accomplished. There are always activities including mentorship, mentoring others.
Yes.
I get invited to go and talk to the young people. So I can't say I'll pause. No. I can't. I have no desire to go backwards. In fact, now there are better people who can do better work. So mine would be to kind of move forward at my pace now. And again, just continue with my values of encouraging others and serving the Lord, because that's something that you don't retire from. I am a born-again Christian, and I still serve in my local church and in terms of evangelism.
What about your FCP?
Well, wonderful. At the moment, I'm helping a fellowship of believers in Nakuru to establish a further relationship with God, to read the Bible. I encourage people to read the Bible and be able to read the Bible once every year. You go through the Bible from Genesis to Revelation once every year. And I give them the program how to do that. And right now where I'm here, I'm also preaching in the Sunshine Secondary School on Sunday. And on next Sunday, I'm preaching with AIC Langata. So they're encouraging the believers always are very busy in sharing God's word.
Yeah. Oh, you both have lived such a full life and continue to live such a full life. And even right now, I can just still feel the energy that you have.
Yeah.
I'd want to know, if you could solve one problem right now in the world, what would it be if you were to choose one thing?
If I was to choose one thing, even in our country, there's so much violence. Hatred and violence.
Yes.
Really, if I could solve that for the world, we would be in a better sort of position. I'm saying this in terms of ambition, not that I am a president or a king. No. But if really I had a chance and just to say, yes, let's value, human beings, not undervalue them. And, with that, we are able to bring a bit of harmony. All these chaos you see is a result of hate and as a result of, spiritual sin. So if there was one way that I can share my Christ and help others to kind of move from that level, that is always my joy. It's always my joy.
Thank you for that. What about you, FCP Joshua? One problem.
Well, very interesting. There is a lot of dishonesty in the world today. People are not telling us the truth. Well, there's a way they are encouraging people to believe in Jesus Christ and speak the truth. Even the world government plans They are not telling us the truth. Look at the issue of COVID-19. It was purely manipulation. There was no COVID like that. And that kind of thing really is not correct. But yet the leaders are able to accept it, that which is not the truth, and sell it out. Yeah. We want people
the issue of dishonesty.
Dishonest. Yeah.
All right. So now let's come back to KKCO.
Yes.
I'd want to know our viewers, to all our young viewers who are watching us, the purpose of our podcast, like I told you earlier, is we also want it to be a space where we can encourage, we can mentor, and people can also get to know some of those things that are not written on paper. You know, like the way you're saying, we are a Christian-based farm. We believe in having excellence in what we do. Those are some of the things that we are hoping with these podcasts would be able to communicate those things. I'd want you to just, one thing that you'd want the younger ones, younger auditors, young accountants who are watching you, what is one thing that you'd tell them to encourage them?
For the young people, my encouragement would be that aim high.
Aim high.
Aim high. And it's not a matter of working harder, or it's really working smarter. As young accountant, my advice would be we are professionals.
Yes.
And we must excel as professionals. In other words, we should be able to give a service that is fit for use first time. Quality services. So I would encourage the young people, the upcoming accountants, to kind of see themselves as the experts and the professionals who make a mark. As we have said, we are living in a world that is full of dishonesty, corruption, and we want a team of young people who will be able to give a solution to this kind of difficulties that we are going through. And the way to do it is, yes, be ambitious, be keen, don't be too contented, at that low level. Aim, because as long as you are not high up there, even to make an impact or to bring change becomes very, very difficult. So I'd encourage them to aim at the top. The space there, the space there. And again, work towards it, have a vision, have a plan. And that way you'll be able to make a mark in our country.
Yes. Thank you for that. What about you, FCP Joshua?
Everyone has a capacity to do good. Nobody should think that is limited. But I feel like so-and-so. Everyone is unique. And they should use their uniqueness to create, to do what is good. They should not think that they cannot manage like so-and-so. They will manage, or they can do better. So long as they are willing to work, willing to learn, willing to cooperate, and be friendly. In whatever do you, information always comes to a friendly person.
Yes.
And knowledge always comes to the friendly person. If you are friendly, people also will desire to learn from you and to even contribute to what you need. So we get value from others. And so they should know that they get value from others, and they should not give up, and they should not have an attitude of sort of disliking somebody because he's behaving in a manner that is not right, but they know that they can change that person if it's the right attitude and do good.
Thank you so much. I have really enjoyed just having a conversation with you and learning, and I am so impressed at the achievements and the milestones that you have been able to achieve, and of course the impact. KKCO is really a great farm because of the foundation that you are able to lay. So we are really grateful for your time, for creating time to just, come and share these nuggets of wisdom and give us your time. It means so much to us. So I'm grateful for your time. Unless you have any question, we now will wrap up. Any question? Any last point or something that you'd have wanted to say that maybe you have not had the chance to?
Thank you, Liz. I think we appreciate this kind of sharing of information.
Yes.
And it's a hope that out of this, somebody will write a book concerning KKCO East Africa, just to document that history before it disappears. So we are quite appreciative that we can meet in this manner and share our story. If it will inspire somebody, it will help somebody, or we feel very blessed that, because all of us, we were built up by somebody. Someone held us up, and we'll be happy that our story can hold up someone else.
Thank you for that.
KKCO, we have great men and women today who are doing a very good job.
Yes.
So KKCO is going to be a lasting an example of how to do good business. That is what we really appreciate. And thank you for giving us this opportunity to share how we started the farm and how it's going on now. But thank you very much.
Thank you for that. So our viewers, I hope you have enjoyed this conversation as I have enjoyed it. Please let us know what kind of content you'd want us to create. It matters that we are able to create content that empowers you, gives you impact. So please leave your questions and your comments in the dialogue box. Please share these conversations with your friends. It is important that also we are able to grow and grow together. So the more you share these conversations, the more there is reach to more and more people. So thank you so much for your time. Till next time, keep it Beyond Numbers by KKCO East Africa LLP. Take care.